Welcome back to Soccer Morning on NASN with Jason Davis.
Back on Soccer Morning, joined now on the telephone by the head coach of New York City FC, 2015 MLS expansion entrant, who has signed their first ever player, David Villa. Jason, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Yesterday was a fantastic day, and today I'm just basking a little bit in all the great news.
Oh, you have time to bask.
Well, actually, I'm on a little family vacation traveling around Europe.
Okay.
So yesterday we were in Venice, and today we're in Rome.
So was this, I mean, I imagine it wasn't a surprise, but, you know, anytime that a team in MLS can secure the talents of somebody like David Villa with his resume, with everything that he's won and the goals that he's scored, I imagine there's got to be some real, a real thrill, a kind of, again, not surprise, you were involved in the process, but for the rest of us, it certainly was.
Yeah, in January was the first that we started talking about the possibility of acquiring David Villa. And when you're a brand new coach and a brand new team in New York, talking about the likes of a David Villa, you all of a sudden realize very quickly that you're in the exact right spot. It was exciting. It's been exciting the entire time. It certainly hasn't been an easy process. But now to have it finally done, I think it's a fantastic statement for New York City FC, and it's also a fantastic statement for Major League Soccer. I think, obviously we're selfish and are very happy that he's on our team, but I think the entire league should be happy that the likes of a David Villa has decided to make this kind of statement by signing where he is in his career at this time in Major League Soccer.
Now, obviously, the build-up to the debut, to the first season for NYC FC is not the normal process. I mean, building up is not a normal process. It's an expansion team that's obviously a different way of doing things while you're not on the field and you don't have players, and David Villa is your first player. But something was made, just a little bit of a note was interesting to me, was that you didn't meet with him yourself. Is that something that wasn't important in the process? I mean, I'm not saying that it's the wrong way to go about it. I just curious about why that would have happened that way.
I'm sorry, I missed the actual part of the question.
Okay, I apologize. It was a very rambling type of question. Essentially, the question is about why you didn't meet with David yourself, and whether or not that was a part of the process that wasn't deemed all that important in the end.
No. It's absolutely important, and as we've been very clear about it, that we're not going to sign players just for their playing ability. We take a very strong stance on that. We think the character is an incredibly important factor in all of our signings, and certainly in our first signing, we wanted to make sure we got this one exactly right. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't able to meet with him, but Claudio sat with him and his wife in a very long meeting in Madrid a few months back, but I wasn't able to be there for that. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time. Our schedules have kind of crossed. This would have been the exact right time for me to have been meeting him before he actually signed his contract, and would have been an easy thing to do if I was in Manchester. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, or fortunately, if you look at it from my point of view, I'm on a fantastic once-in-a-lifetime experience vacation with my family.
Clearly, the process of this, again, you and Claudio working together as the team will come together. But from a playing perspective, with the issues of whether he was committed and he wanted to be there and his personality and everything aside, the playing aspects of David Villa, what does that mean for you as a coach, and how quickly did your brain start turning around how to get the best out of him in MLS?
It's going, and I wouldn't say that we have any answers yet. I'm thinking about it. He's the first player we have signed. We're not thinking too much right now about tactics. We're thinking more about just philosophies of play. And the fact that we're going to be an attacking team, we're going to be a team that's going to look to dictate the tempo of the match. We're going to be a possession-based team. We're going to be a team that's going to want a high press. And so when you think about all those characteristics and you're looking at a guy like David Villa, you recognize very quickly that he's a perfect fit for that type of system.
I suppose that answers the question of whether or not you have a formation in mind at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. Right now, we're thinking more about the philosophies of how we're going to approach the game and the type of soccer we're going to play. For me, that's more important than the actual tactical formation. I believe that you can play that way out of any formation. And we'll wait to see when we've got a lot more players in our ranks to decide what the exact formation is that will suit all of the players and will play to their strengths.
So this will be we sign good players and we'll figure out the best way to play. Well, certainly style, you've got that in mind, but we'll play the best formation for them once we know who our team is, or will it be reverse engineered a little bit?
No. Again, we sign the players on the philosophy of the way we want to play,
okay,
not on the system that we want to play. So if we say that we want to be a very technical team, we want to be a possession-based team, we want to be a high-pressure team, we want to be attacking-minded team, then we look for the players that fit those characteristics. But we aren't going to go about it and say we need to sign this certain position and go and try to find that best position. We're gonna go at it from more about just the philosophies of our play.
I think for a lot of MLS fans, they will be interested to hear you talk about this process with NYCFC, because I think they connect you with the diamond midfield. Have you found, and I don't know how much contact you're having with American soccer fans these days, being in Manchester and being in Europe, but have you found that people sort of assume that Jason Kreis is going to play a 4-4-2 diamond?
I hope that people don't make assumptions about me. It's something that I've tried to institute in my life, that assuming things about people or about other things is a bad habit to get into. So hopefully people aren't making assumptions about me or about how New York City FC is going to play.
Certainly can't argue with the signing of David Villa to start this off. And a lot of people will talk about the money that is at NYCFC's disposal. This is, quote unquote, a statement of intent. I imagine there are big signings in the future.
Yeah, I think we've been pretty clear from the beginning that our objective is to sign 3 designated players. Our objective is to use every resource that's available to us under the league regulations. So we are going at this and trying to make a statement that we are going to be extremely competitive and do everything we can to be the absolute best team that we can from opening day of March 2015.
The fact that you're going to be starting at Yankee Stadium, which is obviously not a soccer building, but is going to be configured for soccer for this team, does that impact how you go about this process of building a team? And I also have heard some interesting things about trying to get training grounds. Are you worried about the training ground situation?
I would tell you that I would be worried if I was coaching for any other club than New York City FC. The people that they have, the resources that they have available to them, the experience that the people that are in charge of this process, all that stuff that they have under their belt puts us in an extremely good position to come up with another solution extremely quickly. So at first, when I heard that it had fallen through, I was very concerned. But upon talking to some of the people that are the decision makers and the go-getters in this process, I'm relieved of those fears and know that we'll be in a very good place come March 2015. Because frankly, there's no chance that we would be doing much training in New York until then. So we'll spend our entire preseason other places. Speaking
of not training until 2015 in New York, I guess one of the questions surrounding David Villa is what he's going to be doing between the post-World Cup glow and 2015 and the start of the new season.
Yeah, we've talked this through a lot about David Villa and about other players that we've been looking to acquire. And the fact is that we've come up with solutions, and in particular, there's an exact solution for David Villa, but we're unfortunately unable to explain what that solution is as of now.
But that solution does not involve Manchester City. No,
it does not. That has been clear, and that's one thing we can say for sure, that he will not be a part of Manchester City.
I think you can understand from an MLS fan's perspective, sort of some of these things being unclear. I mean, we're not going to assume. I'm not making any assumptions, Jason, but when there's the obvious connection between the clubs and there's not actually a team for David Villa to train with after he gets back from the World Cup with Spain, these things are going to pop up, I imagine. And to that point, how difficult will the process be of integrating a team that won't really be all together until you open training camp at the beginning of next year?
Oh, I think it's going to be difficult. I do. I think that we're faced with an incredible challenge of putting together all these different people from all these different places for their very first time come late January of 2015. But I can say that I think that the staff will have the requisite amount of experience putting brand new teams together. having changed something like 25 of 28 players from 2007 to 2008 at RSL. I believe that our coaching staff will have the requisite amount of experience and know-how to do that in our absolute best way.
We know that NYCFC is going to go after 3 DPs. We know they certainly have the resources to get some big names and international names. But is there a targeted effort to bring an American element, maybe on a star type of level, to this team?
It is absolutely a consideration. We have the ability with our allocation ranking, which should be either number 1 or number 2, and we actually make that coin flip. We know that we will be in a very good spot to bring back an American player. We are looking very hard at the options that are available to us and are considering very much so, but we won't make any promises. Again, it'll have to be the right player, and it'll have to be the right character to add to our group.
Last thing, Jason, and again, thank you very much for your time this morning on your vacation. The fact that there is actually one player on this roster, and it's one player, and you got a long way to go, does it make it feel more real? Are you feeling like a coach again yet? I suppose, because I know you've been in Manchester doing your thing, but it's not the same.
Yeah. It was an interesting situation when you walk into the coach's office there at Carrington Training Facility in Manchester City, and you know how coaches and kind of camaraderie amongst men can be. I think every single morning I was asked by multiple people, do you have any players yet? And they just kept piling on the pressure. So I'm a very, very happy person that we have one. And as I said before, it's not just having one player, because that is certainly a super thing. But now that we have one, it puts us in a place where we can start to make preparations and plans and really get after it, I think, a little more aggressively about how we can put together the best possible team.
Jason Kreis, head coach of New York City FC, joining us to talk about the signing of David Villa and the preparations for 2015. Thank you very much for your time, Jason. Best of luck.
You're welcome, guys. Take care.
There he goes. There's Jason Kreis. Fantastic stuff from him.